supply chains shortening and potential disruption. From the demand side, the decline of demand in downstream markets will gradually affect the upstream enterprise through the multiple effects. Second one is about the industrial level, because the different industrials export dependence and about them different depths of GVC embeddedness will get different damage by the GVC disruption. I also do an academic research paper to test this effect. We use the financial crisis for the example. We found that if the company, if the industry is close to the downstream, it will get less damage compared to the upstream. Because the downstream industry is close to the consumer, it can get the direct effect. But when the company or the industry go to upstream, it will magnify the negative effect of global value chain. It's kind of the negative spillover effect. The third level is about enterprise level. The impacts of epidemic on enterprise are reflected in production, damage, cash flow, transportation, and other link of GVC. I will take China case for example. At the beginning, the COVID-19 start in China begin at Wuhan province in China. As we all know, Wuhan province is the center of automobile industry in China. So at the beginning of the crisis, the many companies in Wuhan province shut down. But it's not only related to Wuhan province, because in China, there's a lot of automobile company will import a lot of intermediate products from Wuhan province. So it will spill over to the other company in China. Because of the challenge of the GVC in post-COVID-19, we should take care of three possible risks. The first one is about the risk of industrial chain fracture. The epidemic magnified the vulnerability of traditional value chain and the risk transparency caused by the fracture. UNTITLED do the survey about top 100 multinational enterprise, and they found that this year's global FDI will drop by 30% to 40%. It will greatly affect the normal operation of GVC. Take China's data for example. According to the UN Comtrade's database, we can calculate and found that these two figures, figure 10 and figure 11, there's a lot of intermediate products in China's exporting and importing. That means the decline of supply and demand in China will both hit the upstream and downstream value chain, especially the industry with large proportion of importing and exporting. The second risk is about the large-scale industrial transfer. Actually, China's labor cost continue rising recent year. We can check this figure 12, sourced by World Bank UNTITLED. Compared to the other country, this red line is China. China's minimum basic wage growth rate is very, very quickly, and its growth higher than compared to Philippines, India, Mexico, Vietnam, Cambodia. And during the COVID-19, it's make more and more company and multinational company, they think about not only about efficiency, they think more about efficiency and security thing. So they try to bring manufacturing back to home country or close to market, or they try to diversify and decentralize layout. So it's enhanced the industrial transfer. According to the Ganter's survey in February and March 2020, this one also mentioned by the Professor Gong, there's 32% of 260 multinational enterprise CEO, they would replace China with Vietnam, India, Mexico, and other emerging economy in next 2 or 3 years as the place of source and production. The third risk is about global protection. As the previous literature mentioned that by the Martin and Click 2020, when the economic uncertainty increased by 300%, global value chain activity will decrease by 35.4%. Definitely, this year's COVID-19 crisis will increase the economic uncertainty more than 3,100%. So under the shock of COVID-19, the potential risk and the vulnerability of the global allocation of value chain exposed. So make more and more countries rethink about the national security things. We can check this figure by the OECD policy growth trend of FDI review mechanism. We can see that in 2020, the FDI review mechanism increasing very, very quickly. That means it will make more transactions facing more stringent review rules than before. It also will causing further decline of global FDI flow. Because of this new challenge and the new risk after COVID-19 to the global value chain, we also calling for the new global governor, and we should think about the way forward. The first opinion about this is about the regional agglomeration, because as the new figure of GBC I mentioned before, there's 3 major regions of GBC. So it's also calling for the new depths of development, regional integration agreements like RCEP, CPTPP, USMCA. So hopefully this year we can finish the negotiation of RCEP. It will both benefit China and Malaysia. The second opinion is about although the traditional economy gets some damage by the COVID-19, but the new economy like digital economy, online shopping, online education, online healthcare, online conference like our webinar. So it's also need the new economic and trade rules. The last opinion about this global governors, because the lot of multinational enterprise, they will reallocation the production chain. They try to pick up the market close to the home country, or they want to bring back the production place back to home country. So it will be more and more rely on domestic demand. But as we all know, the globalization is still the trend of world economy. So it's not means only close the door, return back to domestic. It's necessary to build a new development pattern. Recently, Chinese government proposed a new development policy we call the double circle pattern. That means this is a new development pattern, is one dominated by domestic economy circulation and facilitated by circulation between China and the rest of the world, thus forming a new internal and external balance. Okay, here is all the presentation from me, and thank you very much for having me here. If there is any question or comments, will be so welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Liu. Thank you very much for your speech, especially on global value chain. And here, actually, we have a question from Mr. Azizi, Hall of Education, Malaysia, Beijing. We learned that under the joint efforts from both sides, the East Coast Rail Link project construction has been largely resumed. What's your point of view on the cooperation between of 2 countries, and how UMK and UIBE can leverage on this project to strengthen the partnership? So Professor Dr. Liu will give a response on this question as well.
Thank you, Dr. Li. It's definitely the good news for us to know that the East Coast Rail Link project restart, because we all know that China's recently already moved the Belt and Road Initiative to a new period we call the high quality development of Belt and Road. So I think it will be a new.
Oops.
We lost her?
She's back, she's back.
Okay.
Hello, actually, in UIBE, we also have a school for international and regional studies. We have a center specialized in the cooperation and research on the relationship between China and ASEAN countries. And some professors from business school, they also have some project in cooperation with Ministry of Transportation in Thailand, and to do some joint research, especially on this high-speed railroad project between China and Thailand, and to such kind of China, Malaysia, the East Coast Rail Link project construction. And I think some professors from UIBE and would like to cooperate with UMK to do some research on this project, and to play a role as a member of think tank, and to give some recommendation and suggestions to the governments from both sides. And I think maybe later, Professor Liu, when she gets back, we can have some further discussion and response on this question. Now, first, let's move to my part. Actually, because and I think all of the participants that are too passionate, so we have much more time. It takes much more time than we planned. So to my part, I just would like to share with you only the conclusion part for the UIBE, for the UIBE International Corporation. And actually, the year 2021 marks the 70th anniversary of the founding of UIBE. When we will hold a series of celebration activities. At the same time, UIBE will initiate the founding of the League of Economic Institutions of Higher Learning along the Belt and Road. We would like to invite international partners from along with One Belt and One Road, such as UMK from Malaysia, to play a very active role in this league, in this university association. We just look forward to your participation and support, and summing up the past and looking into the future with UIBE, and putting the strengths of all parties to set up a think tank platform for forward-looking and key theoretical research on issues related to the Belt and Road Initiative, in order to promote the sharing the high-quality global educational resources, and contribute with them to our common development. And I think the conference today is very instructive. Mankind has only one Earth, and it is home to all of us, especially when we face to such a severe situation. International cooperation is the only solution. Serve the long-term and fundamental interests of all the peoples in the world. And here I also would like to express my warmest gratitude to Councillor Abdul Azizi Hall Abdullah, and to Dr. Wee from UMK, and Madam Hu Yuan, and my deputy, and Lucy, and all of you just make your efforts and contribution to this, to make this happen, and now, and I think we can move to the last part is for the concluding remark by Professor Dr. Nick Maharin Binti Nick Muhammad, please.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. I would like to thank our Centers for International, as well as Dr. Lee and the team from UIBE, and of course to our Deputy Vice Chancellors for having this event. And I just want to answer a little bit of Mr. Aziz's questions just now related to ECRL. So actually, we are looking forward to work together on ECRL projects, especially when it comes to the benefits to the community around, especially on the technology transfers as well as employment, and of course the businesses, because I think you should come to UMK and you'll see that the state is still traditional in a way, whereby there's a lot of small and micro entrepreneurs in the state. So we hope that the ECRL projects will benefit the communities in terms of entrepreneurship kind of environment, as well as technology transfers that will give to the youth as well as the graduates from the university. So I would like to conclude a little bit about the UMK's strength. Of course, we are far away from international business, because we don't have international business per se as a program, but as part of the subjects, yes. But we hope that the entrepreneurship elements that we are going to embark will going further into international market, because as you know that when we are talking about globalization, it is not about export import anymore. Globalization is just through the virtual, just through the online businesses and so on. And we at UMK work very well with JD.com, and we are having products from the university as well as products from the community to be marketed at JD.com, which is the big market is in China. So probably I could say that is another area that UMK and UIBE can work together on seeing on how Malaysian product will be accepted by the Chinese, especially the local products like the herbs that we have, and also other things, because we know that we cannot compete with the China merchandise, but of course there are some elements of authenticity that we have in Malaysia that we can work together. So maybe that is an area that I've seen UMK can contribute, especially on enhancing small medium enterprise to become international, especially working with China. So that's from me as for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you. And I think we have a very productive conference today. And thank you for everyone. Thank you.
Dr. Lee, can I request for everyone to turn on the camera so that we can have a group photo session before we leave the meeting?
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Okay. So everybody would start combing the hair and sitting straight. And please on your camera and show the best face and best smile. It will go by the first page because we have 30 plus over participants. Can I request all participants to on your camera and show your most beautiful smile?
OK， 大家开一下摄像头啊，我们照一个全屏的照片，截一个屏啊。
是的，是的，这个是很重要的。Can we request all to on the camera? Yes, we are getting more. Miss Priyanti, Aiman, Lester Lee, Miss Wong, Jamila. Can we have your beautiful faces? Just for 1-2 minutes will do. Okay. So I will start doing it for the first page. Okay, we are getting more. Mr. Lester is here. Any more coming? Otherwise, we will take picture with your name. Yeah? Okay, 1, 2, smile. Okay, one more. 1, 2, smile. Okay, next page. We have few more participants. Okay, let's do it again. 1, 2, smile. 1, 2, smile. Okay, thank you very much. On behalf of University Malaysia Kelantan, I would like to thank UIBE, the professors for the insightful speeches, and also Mr. Aziz for linking us up. And we hope more collaborations like this will happen in near future. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Lee.
Thank you, Dr. Wee. Thank you,
Bye.
thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you, bye-bye.
Thank you very much. See you again.